So I created this workflow in order to allow you to set it up in projects so that it will prompt a user for what site they will be visiting the next day, and then it will automatically generate an ERP like this one with all the details for the site that they're going to be visiting, and then it will automatically post that into the Slack channel. So in order to use this workflow, just ask me to share this with you. Then once I've shared it with you, go on these three dots and select duplicate workflow. Name it to whatever you want. That will create a duplicate of the workflow that's now in your own private Slack, so it's managed by you. Then you want to click edit here on the trigger for the start the workflow. You want to click edit and you want to change it to whatever you want for the triggering for the workflow. So probably on a schedule is probably the best. Click save. Then what you want to do is you want to change the message that gets sent out. So when this trigger happens, the message will be sent out. So you'll want to go edit here, and you'll want to select which channel you want the message to be sent to and what the message will read. Click save. So then it will prompt the user to enter information in a form by clicking a button in this message. So you can also send the message to a user instead of to a channel if you want to change that. So it will allow them to enter information in a form, asking them a question, which site are you visiting? So then what you'll need to do down here is, first of all, you'll have to create a spreadsheet on your Google Drive. You can name the spreadsheet whatever you want, doesn't matter, but it has to have these columns in it. Then, and all the information for the project filled out in those columns. Google Maps route is basically a link to a Google Maps, like a map from the site to the nearest hospital. Actually, you don't actually have to have all the information filled out, but it's definitely helpful to have a Google Sheet with that information. Okay, then you go back into your workflow and you edit this item here. And what you'll want to do is resolve. And you will want to select the spreadsheet from your Google Drive. Here, you might have to link Slack with your Google Drive and give it permission to access your Google Drive. But once you do, then it will have then it will show all of your internal spreadsheets here. And you just select that one. You select the spreadsheet, click next. And then what you'll want to do is allow it to search for column name and which value do you want to find. Just leave this as it is, so don't change anything here, and just click save. Okay, then we want to go down to the next item here, and you just want to click edit. And what this will do is it will post a new item into a Slack list. So it's possible that I may have to give you permission by sharing this Slack list, because what's going to happen is when the user submits their form saying which site they're going to be visiting, it will enter a new item into this list saying that they're visiting this site on this date, and it will put all the information into here, and it will use that to generate the ERP so that all of those items will be entered into this Slack list. So I have already shared this list with some people, but I may have to share it with others too. So what do we need to resolve here? We need to change this to person who submitted the form. Okay, so it's going to ask for you to change all of these things. So you'll just have to do change the date created to when the form was entered. Change who created it to the person who submitted the form. Change the coordinates to spreadsheet. Select the spreadsheet row in column values and coordinates. So this is taking the coordinates from the spreadsheet that you linked. Okay, we'll have to delete that actually. Sorry, we have to delete that one. Go here, scroll down to the bottom, select a spreadsheet row, coordinates. Again, we'll do the same thing for the hospital. So click here, go down, column values, and nearest hospital. And we'll just do that for all of these, just because when we duplicated it, it lost all of the links. Oh, which one did I just do? Hospital contact number. So, okay, Google Maps route. We'll want to do the same thing here. So it's pulling all of these from the spreadsheet, basically. The spreadsheet, the Google Sheet that you've linked it up with. This is what it's, this is where it's getting this information from for the particular site that the supervisor or whoever chose. Okay, then you just click save. Okay, so that's resolved. Next one to resolve is update list item. So we'll click edit for that. And it says there's a problem here. So we'll just want to, so it's under site name, so we'll just delete this and we'll relink it with the site name and leave everything else the way it was before. Okay. So that is the essence of that. Oh, and you'll want to leave, it's actually kind of a weird factor, but sorry, let me discard that. So on the one that says add item to a list, you'll want to leave site name blank. Enter the data for each. Actually, this can be person who submitted the form. Change who created. So site name, you want to leave that one blank here, but then we want it to be update list item. Then we want to put the site name in. And the reason why is because Slack has some weird triggers. So I have a separate workflow where this item here will trigger my other workflow to activate. And what my workflow will do is it will generate a ERP using the template information. It'll create a new one here in my own personal Google Drive, and then it will post that along with the directions to the site. It will send that as a private message to whoever it was that collected the information in the form. So it will do that after about 5 minutes. It'll trigger and it'll send that as a message to whoever the person is that submitted this form. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, but hopefully that makes sense.